he's mentioned that he's the face of boxing, right? Do you believe that Turkey Alalshikh genuinely cares about boxing? I mean, and look, let me say this. I'm not sitting here saying the dude is a bad dude, but my question to you, coach, is, and to the audience too, not only the coach, but to the audience. Do you feel like Turkey LSC genuinely cares about boxing? Because guys who genuinely care about boxing, they care about the buildup of a fighter. Like prime example, PBC and even Top Rank, when they develop their fighters, they get the fan to basically see the fighter mature as a fighter and grow as a fighter. That's how you gain fans. That's how you build this fighter up. You also see him grow because he's not making the same mistakes as a fighter. You see him, okay, he's susceptible to the right hand. Now his defense has got better to where he not getting hit with that right hand. He's finding a defensive movement. He may throw a combination and throw a defensive movement. He may not rush his work. You got some fighters that like to rush their work, but I feel like Turkey Alalshikh is not understanding the buildup of a fighter. So my question, when I ask this question, I'm not asking this question in the sense of do he care. I'm talking about do he care about boxing? Meaning, do he care about actually developing the fighter? Because everybody that's flocking to him are already established fighters, and they going to him because he just got money, right? So, do you feel, based off his actions, based off what you see with his matchmaking, that he genuinely cares about the sport of boxing?
That's an easy question to answer. I say no, simply because what emotional dedication and just straight fortitude has he spent or even participated in other than throwing money at boxing? Is he a trainer? Has he been a trainer? Has he been a coach? Has he participated in sparring? Has he been, somewhere and took a team to travel and showed them something different and showed them how great they can be, by learning the small nuances and the minute and fundamental things about boxing? What emotional bond does he really have with the sport? Is it that's a self-explanatory question. He has no emotional bond because why? He approached the sport with straight dollars. Who, I mean, I get it when you that big time and somebody come throw that type of million at you. Sometimes it'll make you think like, man, yeah, but at the same time, like I said before, this is a sport that represents the grind of young men and women most of the time who come from nothing, absolutely nothing. And here we got a prince, a king, or whatever he is over in his, hometown, country or whatever they want to call it. He comes over here and just throws money. Like that's not how this sport was built. It was built from kids who just, didn't have a daddy or mama wasn't around or the only thing they knew was the streets and somebody finally pulled them from the streets and said, you need to come in the gym before you end up hurt. You know what I'm saying? Those background stories make fighters who they are. And you got a guy like Turkey Alalshikh come over here and just throw money at the sport, and people flock to it. Come on now, think about yourselves. Like think about your grind. Think about your hard-earned dollar when you was spending them on those boxing shoes or that rope you was using to skip when you were younger and didn't have nothing. I mean, like I say, some people do come from that luxury of life, and it's not to talk down on it, but at the same time, boxing is a grit sport. It's built from nothing. Think about how you how you build a fighter from the ground up. You build a fighter from the ground up, and we got this guy who's never put a grain of sand from his country into it, but yet he can bring his dollars and get anything he wants and say he's the face of boxing. How you even the face of boxing as a promoter, bro? That don't even make sense to me. Go sit down, bro. Go earn respect. Don't come over here with this money stuff. Just chop 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 chop. Oh, y'all gonna bow down? I'm the best. I'm the face. No, that's not how that works. You got to think about all the trainers, all the coaches, all the cutmen, all the fighters, all the mamas, all the daddies, uncles, grandpas that pour into their child as they grow up in the sport to hope and pray and be blessed that their child turn into something great with the sport. But then again, like I say, y'all let Turkey Alalshikh come over here and disrespect the sport like that. Come on, and I can elaborate on it, but as you can see, the sport is emotional to me. I respect it. I don't like it. And it is what it is.
I second everything he said. Like I say, man, when this boxing stuff, man, and y'all don't know, Coach been coaching for a while now. You know what I mean? I'm getting into the coaching side. I was a former amateur fighter. I know the journey, I know the grind. But Coach is coming talking from a coach's perspective, and when he said what he said, he actually mean what he's saying because he's developing bond. I mean, I know with my coach, I had a bond with my coach. You know what I'm saying? My coach offered his home to me, you know, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you actually, on this journey of boxing, you actually see a fighter go through the growing pains. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're a coach. You see your fighter when he depressed. You see your fighter when he in a good mood. You know, every day ain't an upbeat day. You know what I'm saying? And coach can attest to that. So I just feel like I second everything coach was saying. Turki Alalshikh coming in this mug with money and he just throwing it around and he like, look, y'all bow down to me. You know, you want to get paid, bow down to me. And I think it's gonna backfire. I mean, we've seen this business model before. I think it's gonna backfire, and you know, he may not be as successful. I'm just not gonna lie to you. I feel like when you come in this boxing game, you got to be humble, and you got to learn the sport. You got to learn the business. You got to learn the matchmaking. It's just a lot, but he don't want to listen to nobody, and that's his problem. I see. I mean, you could you agree with that, coach? I mean, I'm seeing a dude who just got money and he like, look, I ain't listening to nobody. I'm finna do what I want to do. Y'all bow down or kiss the ring or you can kick rocks. I mean, are you getting that same vibe or are you feeling something else?
I mean, for sure. I partially agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, it's like I look at it as I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to revive it, but the way he's going about reviving the sport is to not invest millions and millions and millions of dollars throwing them at fighters and promoters, thinking you're gonna get these great matchups when you get these fighters in there. But really, you just, like I say, you riding on the wave of the dollar, and then you get these two fighters in the ring, and it's like, again, I refer back to the casual and the real boxing head. A real boxing head, when you go look at that matchup between Bacoli and Baby Anderson, bro, Jared Anderson, a real boxing head know Jared Anderson ain't got no business in the ring with Martin Bacoli, bro. Like, that's just one-on-one coaching versus coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, coach, how big that dude is? He looked like he got some decent speed and decent jab and some decent power. How big Bacoli is? Oh, he's this. Oh no, I ain't put my dude in there with that. And then you can see, like, you can see stuff like that when you're a real boxing head and you participated in the sport. If it was not one person in the world that honestly thought, well, a real boxing head, it was not one real boxing head in the world thought that Jared Anderson had a chance to beat Martin Bacoli. Even if you go look at, I know Bacoli doesn't have the most displayed fights in the world. He's not a household name, but at the same time, you can go back and look at footage on Bacoli and look at footage at Anderson, and you can see that Anderson gets hit with every significant punch Bacoli likes to throws. If you go back and look at the history, that's what I'm saying. That's a real boxing head versus a casual. A casual would have watched that and been intrigued, but I was looking at it like, bro, I knew this was gonna happen. But at the same time, like I say, I can go on and on and on. Again, I get what he's doing. He's trying to revive the sport, but he's definitely going the wrong way about it. You taking the journey, you taking the respect, you taking the pride, the dignity, the relationships that's built throughout the journey, and you just kind of stepping over it. You're trying to cover it up with money. I get it. You trying to bless some of these people with some bread, but at the same time, you can also get some of these young men and women hurt by just throwing bread. That all that stuff spins different ways. You got to look at it from different point of views. And like I say, I don't want to continue to beat a dead horse, but the way he's going about it is just not the best way, in my opinion.
Facts. Turki Alalshikh is a casual that got money and that's in boxing. Until he learned the sport, he gonna be a casual. He a casual fan who making these video game fights. that's just what it is.